Shout out to all the guys and girls out there standing up for common sense. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about NBA basketball player for the Golden State Warriors, Draymond Green, and his excellent response to the vax mandates. Now, I did a video the other day about Jonathan Isaac from the Orlando Magic and his response to the vax mandates, and he got more into the technicalities of the vax itself, about he's in peak physical condition, he's 23 years old, he's not in a danger group of catching it and dying and going to the hospital. I talked about that in that video, and he had a great response, and shout out to Jonathan Isaac. But I think Draymond Green's response here is more about just the pressing and the pressing, and all the hoopla that surrounds it can turn people off and make them not want to get it, when the whole objective is to get everybody to volunteer to get it. Now, before I go any further, let's roll the clip. In this clip, you'll see and hear what Draymond Green had to say. After we get done with that, I'll talk about what he said. Then I'll give you my 2 cents, my deep detail analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
That would be like me telling him, like, yo, your wife is going into labor. How dare you leave this team and not go tend to your wife, for what that could mean for this team. That's something that's personal to him. That's health related. That's, something that's personal to his family. This is no different. This is, we're dealing with something that to me feels like has turned into a political war. When you're talking about a vaccination and non-vaccinated, I think it's become very political. And for someone who's not extremely into politics, when you make something so political and not everyone is into politics, then you can also turn those people off, And, I think there is something to be said for people's concern about something that's being pressed so hard. Like, why are you pressing this so hard? Like, so much, you're just pressing and pressing and pressing. I think you have to honor people's feelings and their own personal beliefs. And I think that's been lost when it comes to vaccinated and non-vaccinated. And it kind of sucks that that's been lost because you're essentially not giving anyone, you say we live in a land of the free. Well, you're not giving anyone freedom, because you're making people do something, essentially, without necessarily making them. You're making them do something. And that goes against everything that America stands for, or supposedly stands for. And so I know I'm not in any position to go tell him what he should or should not be doing. And as a leader of this team, I'm not going to go to him and say, hey, man, we really need, no, the hell, you do what you feel you want to do. That has nothing. I'm not going to go and ask him, did he get a polio vaccine? So why would I go ask him if he got a COVID vaccine?
All right, so you saw that, you heard that. Now, yet again, bravo. Hey, you guys, Draymond Green, Kyrie Irving, Andrew Wiggins, Bradley Beal, you guys are fantastic. Keep doing what y'all do. Don't be afraid to say anything. I know it's a lot of pressure from the government, from the NBA even. We'll talk about that in a minute. There's pressure, maybe even from your peers. Maybe from guys that are in the league, there's pressure to go out there and get that. But thank you guys for just saying what the reality of the situation is. I appreciate y'all for doing that. Now, as far as Draymond himself, I'm not sure if he has a vax or not. But his point about everything being politicized is what I want to focus on, because that right there will turn people off in a heartbeat. Somebody might kind of be on the fence and might kind of say, hey, you know what? I don't know if I need that. I don't know if I want that, but maybe I will. Maybe a little bit more time will convince me one way or the other. I'm not really sure yet. But then rather than being convinced with, actual success, with actual data that suggests something that makes sense to get, rather than getting a bunch of that, what they get is this kind of a civil war over it, a political war over it. Like Draymond was saying, it's the vaxxed versus the unvaxxed. It's kind of a game banging blood versus Crips type thing. And it's like, wait a minute. If it's about health and safety, then why is it all this political back and forth and bickering and whatnot over it? Why are they pressing so hard? Why does the NBA say that they don't have a vax mandate, but if you are unvaxxed, you can't ride on the same plane with the guys, you can't eat with the guys, you got to do all these different things? And why do people still catch and spread the virus while vaxxed, the same as what they would do when they're unvaxxed? But they tell me the reason why I got to get the vax is because I have to protect other people. How can I do that if I can't stop the spread when I get it? How does that make any sense? How about these side effects that are going on? What's going on with that? Oh, I can't talk about it. I can't ask questions. I'm getting blocked from Twitter. What's going on? It's become political, and that political thing, especially for non-political people, will turn them off. Even for a guy like me, I'm very political. I eat, sleep, and breathe politics all day long. However, sometimes I don't want to be. And this is the reason why sports are having a hard time being able to maintain an audience to a certain extent. And not even just sports, but sometimes sports television that's not necessarily a sporting event, such as the ESPN with their Sports Center and all these different shows with Rachel Nichols and all these guys. They may suffer reduced ratings because of all the politics that gets put into the show. Understand this. I know where to go if I want to get politics. Okay. I have my own channel. I got patriotpost.us. I got Fox News. I got the Blaze. I got all these places where I can go to get my political fix. I don't want that when I'm watching sports. Period. So when I see Bob Costas come on during a halftime show in the NFL, during the NFL game, and he's talking about global warming and saving the blue panda bear, I'm like, man, I don't care about this. Get this guy off my TV right now. Right now. The politics are turning me off. And I enjoy basketball. I enjoy watching the NBA. But last year when they had all the BLM stuff going on, it's like, all right, well, you guys can think that, you can believe that, whatever you want, but don't push it right in front of my face. All I want to see is a basketball game. Why must I get inundated with politics? All I want to do is enjoy the game. All I want to do is just have something that I can do and take a break from the nonstop political stuff, to take a break from the realities of life. Why can't I do that? And the same thing goes to, why can't I have my own personal decisions about what I do medically for myself? Okay. For my family, things of that nature. Back to what he was saying about, you know, how can I say, how dare you leave this team to go tend to your wife who is in labor right now, having your baby? How can you say that? Who's going to say that? Like, you playing a basketball game, right? Who was really going to tell the guy who goes to the hospital when his wife is delivering the baby, don't do that? Who's going to say that? Okay, I understand if it's like your son scratched his knee and it needs some stitches or something like that, and you skip like 8 games for that. But your wife having the baby, I mean, you're not going to see that every day. Why is it not that way when it comes to the vax? And why just this vax? Why just this particular illness? There's plenty of other ways you can get sick and spread it to your teammates and whatnot. There's a lot of viruses that are out there, not just this one. The reason why they're pressing it so hard is because it's a political issue. It's a money issue. It's greater than the NBA, greater than the NFL, greater than sports. It's not even about them trying to be safe because, again, you can still catch it and spread it just the same. These guys are not going to the hospital. Out of all these NBA guys who have gotten the virus, even before the vax came out, nobody has gone to the hospital. Nobody, because you're talking about peak physical condition athletes who train all day. There are no obese NBA basketball players, period. None. Even in the NFL, when you got these linemen who look they can eat a hamburger for A hamburger to them, like a 14-ounce hamburger, is a snack to these big guys at 300 plus pounds. These guys not even going to the hospital because they are athletes. So what is it really about? You can't stop the spread. You can't stop yourself from catching it, and you're not going to the hospital anyway. It's about control. It's about a political narrative. So Washington, D.C. can say, well, the NBA, the NFL, everybody's vaxxed. We're all vaxxed up. We got 100% vax rate. It's about controlling you, controlling your movements, your freedom, everything. And then the next thing is when they get that, okay, well, check it out. We want to have more tax compliance. We got to have the rich, quote unquote, pay their fair share. So what we're going to do, rather than the limit being $20,000 as far as what you must report if you get money through PayPal or Venmo or whatnot, let's reduce that to $600. So any transaction that equals up to that, or just one transaction of $600, that's going to be reported to the IRS automatically. You have no choice in the matter. They're going to monitor your accounts and tell on the federales. See, it's a reduction of your rights. That's why it's so political. It's because it's part of a political plan in Washington, D.C., not about you, your health, or your safety. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to Draymond Green for just giving a common sense point of view. And I appreciate the NBA guys having nuanced approaches to this thing. It's not just one script. You know, you see in Washington, D.C., they all say the same thing. You know, slow the spread, flatten the curve, save lives, don't be so. It's always the same script. Like they go to a place and get trained for it. But these NBA guys and regular normals like myself and everybody else, we just say what makes sense to us, how we feel, not just something that came from some think tank that we have been coached to say for a particular purpose to gain 100% compliance. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what Draymond Green said? Was he on point, off point, correct, incorrect? Whatever your thoughts on that are, let me know in the comments below. You guys pretty much know where I'm at. I think what he said there was perfect. It was right on point, and I couldn't have said it no better myself. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.